So that's what they advertised. Fact is, if you wanted to pump in more than that, you can do it. It'll take it. You just have to be mindful of not overheating it, which would happen if you put, instead of 1500 watts, you put 3000 watts in there, and you were going uphill, and you weren't doing it in low gear, you were doing it in too high of a gear. And it's easy to not realize that you're doing it because you got so much power and everything just seems normal. But the thing is, you're working the shit out of it, out of that motor, and getting it high because it's in that high gear, and then you can do some damage to the motor. So as long as you understand how that all works, then hey, then you're good to go, man. You can do some changes if you want to the controller. They're starting to get, well, they came out, this special controller here that I got. It came out, and I do, that's what I've got mine set at, is 3000. I think I could go even a lot higher than that. The 3000 is fine, 3000 watts. So, or 2500, I think, is what I got. So it's nice to have that power when you need it. You know, I could put this in, you know, first gear, and you know, give it some power on a pretty steep climb, and pedal and wow, it'll do a billy goat thing, but I've got to do it for a very short period of time. If it was like that for a long distance, I had to debate about it. Myself about what I want to do. Okay, I guess we're getting out of the stream part now. Now we're getting some climbing and getting on out of here. Indian Creek is still down below. We're just climbing above it. And I don't think we're going to go back down again, but you never know. I mean, well, actually, I guess wouldn't even have to go down again. The creek is going to, in relation to, you know, where we're at, it's going to look like it's going up. So we could meet again. Woohoo! Well, I hear him up there. Look at that thing up there. Woohoo! Oh, look, yeah, well, those are pretty cool. And those might only have a few 100,000 years left before they fall. Okay. So anyway, so I've got the power when I need it, and so I feel very confident with that on my rides. And what I also did was, the weakness that this had was it can only fit a 14 amp hour battery down there in my V space, or whatever you want to call it, down below. So on a sliding battery. So if I had a brand new battery, 14 amp, I mean, or you know, a fairly recent one, because I've had these for years. But if I had a newer one, I could go to the top of this and then come all the way back down to the campground on just that one battery. No sweat. But if I wanted to get up there after I've done it once, and it's like, oh man, I'd like to get up and go further, you know. Well, you're going to need more. And so I got this backpack that I have now that I'm not using for a battery, but sometimes I did in the past. That's what I originally started using it for. And that way I had a second battery that I could carry with me, and then I'd switch it out. No, it's just the way that it works, that if you were to have two 14 amp batteries, amp hour batteries, two of them in parallel, it's actually better than having two of them serially, like use one up or almost up and then put the new one in, and then, you know, doing it like that serially. No, if you can do it parallel, it's better, because you still have the higher, the voltage stays higher longer is what's happening, and you seem to get a little extra voltage too at the end of the line too, because you've got two batteries, and I don't know, it's the way to go. And of course I couldn't do that before, because I had a separate battery that I put in the backpack, so I had to do it serially. Well, I made a change. Finally, they came out with these battery joiners, kind of like, can't think of the actual name, but it's a thing where you could connect two batteries at this junction of this thing, and yeah, so you can wire up two batteries. Now, of course, I had to give up my pouch in the back on my rear wheel carrier, and make it strictly for a second battery, which I did. And as opposed to the 14 amp hour that I have up here, I didn't put a second 14 amp hour. Oh no, I put a 21 amp hour, which fit in there. Woo! So that isn't in parallel, but they're both the same voltage. They're both 52 volts, so they can join easily, and then they will use up their voltage evenly. So I get a lot better distance. I think I get real good power for longer. Like this too. It's just the way to go if you can do it. I'd like to do it with my other bike, kinda. My paved bicycle path bike, but that's not so easy the way I've got that set up. I don't have the right kind of carrier, rear rack carrier. For me to put any kind of weight on it. And these batteries, they are pretty freaking heavy.